Hello everybody, welcome to another video on the Bronies UK channel. I am John, one of the hosts, and well, we've already spoke quite a lot about this subject. If you're not aware, please check back a couple of videos. I did a live stream with two good friends of mine, two fellow Bronies at the same time. My fellow co-host Sam and also our good friend Lawrence. We together spoke about the show and spoke about a lot of the stuff that's been released news-wise. And before that as well, Sam uploaded a video talking about the news that broke. Now, this is my own response to Sam. And it's also an open response to my good friend Lawrence as well, if he wishes to make a response himself, his own video talking about this. Now, Sam made a video talking about, obviously, announcing and talking about Season 9 is going to be the last season, and it's been confirmed by Hasbro. Now, where this information came from, there was basically New York Toy Fair happened. While around about that time of this New York Toy Fair, they announced a new movie coming out in 2021, and also the end of My Little Pony will be Season 9. Season 9 will be the last season. So I wanted to just take this time to pretty much talk and reflect about My Little Pony Friendship Magic and why I watched it, why I get so much enjoyment from this series, from the show, and also kind of just a discussion of my thoughts. So let us go back to the beginning. I know I've mentioned this a few times in previous videos, but it has to be said because it's all where it all started. So basically, how the whole journey of me being a fan of this series all started was because I heard rumours. I was kind of but before me picking the show up, I heard rumours and heard conversation from people that had already kind of started to pick up the show when it first started back in 2010. And, people were kind of like, oh my god, some people were kind of like, have you seen the new version of My Little Pony? Some people are like, yeah, I think it's really good. And some people are like, oh my god, I don't want to even think about watching that series. There was a lot of two sides of the coin opinions being thrown around about it at the beginning. And a lot of people, and I know some people from going to conventions that are professional artists that have actually worked or done commissions and also worked on official My Little Pony comic books, and done artwork based upon the show. And obviously, based upon the characters from Lauren Faust. And basically, a lot of their opinions were quite positive, and were very happy to be working on some of the artwork, and also very happy to do the commission work as well. I heard a lot of interesting mixed thoughts about it at the beginning. I went at least a good when I picked the show up, it was literally just by chance, and it was back in 2013 when I picked the show up and I watched an episode. I've forgotten the title, but I have mentioned this previously, but it's the first episode that I saw fully, and it's the episode where Spike is doing a cake for Rarity, and he basically all these like gems and things that he's doing it with, and he keeps eating them. And I remember checking out that little scene, and it amused me. I was actually laughing and chuckling along to it, and I thought it was really funny. And So upon watching that, I then went back to 1 hour later when it came on again. So this was on Pop. So this is when it was originally on Pop on UK TV or satellite, Sky anyway. So that's what I did. I went back and I watched the entire episode from start to finish, and I thought, you know what, that was pretty good. So I then decided to go right back to the first season and watch the first 2 or 3 episodes. So I watched the 2-part season opener for season 1, and I watched, I watched about 4 or 5 episodes in that one evening, and I was just like, you know what, this is actually pretty good. But I kept it quiet. Nobody knew about it at that time. I kept it completely quiet from everybody. And then, just on the off chance, I was pretty much about halfway to nearly the end of season 1, and I went on Netflix and I checked out. Basically, when I picked the show up, season 3 had just finished airing. So when I went on Netflix, the first 2 Equestria Girl films were on there, and I was like, oh no, you know, a lot of people thought it was just a quick cash grab kind of idea, and a few some of the fans that have been there since the beginning wasn't overly interested by it, but I checked them out regardless, the first 2, and I actually really enjoyed them. I love the first. Well, my favourite's the second one, Rainbow Rocks. But they were the first. They were the only 2 available on Netflix at the time. So, what I did is, obviously at the time as well, the first 3 seasons or 2 seasons of it, whatever, was on Netflix as well. Of the show, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. So I picked it all up and I just started carrying on watching the series, and then obviously I caught up with the Equestria Girl feature-length films. So, when I was pretty much looking through my Netflix, my good friend Sam and fellow co-host was around, and he noticed, he was like, do you watch My Little Pony? And I was just like, shit, kind of thing. And he was like, yeah. I was just like, yeah, I do. And he was like, yeah, I do as well. And I was like, there was that weird moment of just, we both basically just stared at each other and was just like, you watch it as well? And then he was like, yeah, I've been, apparently my mate Sam had said he'd been watching it for a good year previous to me picking it up. And he was actually caught up right up to season 3. And so I said, well, yeah, I mean, I'm caught up to season 3, and well, basically, yeah. So basically, I was on season 2. I was on season 2 when Sam, my co-host Sam, found out about me being a fan of, starting watching it. So then it became a thing between me and my good friend Sam. You know, we just kind of, it was our own little thing. We kept it quiet from anyone else besides me and him, and it became just something for me and Sam to enjoy. And then over time, we decided to kind of just announce it because, end of the day, it's stupid. I find it's a bit silly to kind of keep something like that hidden. I mean, end of the day, I'm not ashamed, and I don't have any issues with myself or Sam liking this series. At the end of the day, it is just a bunch of colourful ponies and pegasi and unicorns and all sorts in this mysterious world, you know, and it's just all these interesting characters. It's just a cartoon, you know, it's a cartoon series, and end of the day, I don't really see the problem of me enjoying it. I mean, I love cartoons in general, so to me, it's just like anything else that I'd watch. But yes, but the thing is, what made it so special, and the reason why it grew on me over time, is the art style is my thing that I love about it. The art style, just as soon as I started watching it, it just sucked me in. It's incredibly, it's just in your face. It's just this really interesting, in your face, very vibrant and colourful art style, and really interesting designs and for the actual characters. And then you got the story, which was actually very, very decent. You know, the story was, in my opinion, not so much stereotypical a girl's cartoon. It had elements in there and a lot of pop culture things, references, and all sorts that, you know, that pretty much would be more like for both boys and girls. You know, there was a lot of that. You know, as the series and seasons, you know, you got a lot of like references to like Doctor Who, references to like different movies and TV characters, and you had all these little nods to a lot of other things and pop culture, which really impressed me as well. So yeah, and then obviously the fan base, the fan base as well is incredible, incredibly creative fans, people creating original music based on certain characters on the actual series, or actual covers of songs from the show, including Equestria Girls, and it's really, and also not just musicians, but people that do their own comics and basically stories and arts as well, all inspired from this series, and it's just such an incredible fan base. And yeah, it's just all part and parcel, just invited me in and sucked me in, and I've just never looked back. You know what I mean? It's just an incredible fan base and a great show, and really great bunch of actors and script writers and storyboard artists and musicians that collectively brought this series together. And also, really good job Hasbro did, DHX Media and Allspark Studios that all collectively worked on it throughout the years. Just a great job by all, really is. So my parting words as we approach season 9, and we now know season 9 is going to be the last. From what we've been told, what has already been announced, is that apparently there is a lot. Obviously, there's going to be an anniversary special episode, which I believe is going to be episode 5 of season 9, which is going to be like a special anniversary episode, that milestone episode. So that is interesting. Also, it's going to be interesting what the 2-part opener and what the 2-part ending is going to be all about. And also, apparently, there's supposed to be some returning characters that have not been around for a while, and all these different elements. And they're going to be really thanking the fans in certain ways. And hopefully, I just hope they're going to answer some questions, much needed questions, and maybe give a little bit of development to some of the characters. I mean, obviously, the main characters, their stories and their development as characters, like, Twilight, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Rarity, and Applejack, and all the main characters, their stories have already been told. The story has now moved on to this other group of other young characters since season 8. And so the movie's now moving on with their development. And also Spike, his development is still very young. We still don't know why Celestia, entrusted Twilight with the egg to begin with. That is still kind of up in the air, unless it's already been mentioned in the comic books. But we know that the comic books are canon, but they're not. They're a separate continuity to the series, apparently. But yeah, there's still a lot to be answered and still a lot to be known about certain aspects of the story and certain characters. It's just going to be really interesting to see whether that actually gets done in this last season. And also, then in 2021, we've got a new movie that apparently I've been told it's going to be a prequel. And then obviously, apparently, it's not going to be a prequel, it's going to be a standalone film. So that's still very up in the air of what this movie's going to be, whether it's a prequel to the last theatrical film that came out in 2017, or if it's going to be an actual sequel to the last film, or if it's going to be a prequel to the last film, or if it's going to be a standalone and it's going to maybe set up whatever generation, or Gen 5 or whatever, if you will. But yeah, it's been an incredible ride. I've enjoyed every minute of it ever since I picked it up. It's been a surprising and very interesting journey. And myself, Sam, and hopefully Lawrence, we will be bringing you content regardless of Season 9 being the last one. Obviously, Equestria Girls is still continuing. We don't know how long for, but it is still going to be bypassing Friendship is Magic. So that's interesting. So at least we've got that to look at as well. But at the same time, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future brings for the franchise and seeing what happens after Friendship is Magic finally comes to an end. But at the same time, I am really upset and very saddened about it now coming to an end. But I think it's had its run, it's had a great run, and I think it's quite fitting and quite nice for it to just salute the fans and move on, and then see what what happens in the future. I'm really looking forward to that aspect, and also to this new movie coming out in 2021. And obviously see what happens with Equestria Girls, see how they develop that. Now that the pony side's now out the equation completely after Season 9. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the future and everything, but I'm embracing the Friendship is Magic awesomeness. And thank you to everyone that subscribed over the past. I think this YouTube channel has been around just nearly, I don't know, is it just over a year or nearly 2 years? I'm not quite sure. But it's still a relatively young channel. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that subscribed to this channel in that time, commented, liked comments, and liked the videos and commented on the videos. We really do appreciate all that love and appreciation since we've been making these videos for you guys. But that will not be ending regardless of what happens to Friendship is Magic. We will be making more video content, talking about the show, talking about our favourite episodes, certain subjects, certain things, and we will also be touching upon the future of what will happen after Friendship is Magic as well. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.